Hi there guys, and welcome again to my YouTube channel. My name is Sonia and I'm a Nigerian YouTuber or content creator based in Canada, in Toronto, Canada. So my last video I made about finding accommodation, like when I first came and how hard it was and whatever. And since then I've gotten some comments and some more questions, and I decided to dive deeper into my personal experience. So yes, welcome. If you're new here, I've introduced myself. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you for coming. If you're new, please subscribe. If you haven't, you could just quickly do it right now. Thank you. Okay, so let's jump into this video. Some things about renting a house that I did not mention. Like my first apartment that I got that was in Richmond Hill, it was $1,000. I think I mentioned this, I can't remember. It was $1,000, but then I asked them, and then utilities would have been extra. But I asked them to please include the utilities into my rent because I don't want to be bothered about paying, thinking about an extra expense every month. So they added another $150 for utilities. So every month my rent was $1,150. So that made it easy for me. And they did ask me for a key deposit, or was it a security deposit? I think they're not supposed to necessarily ask for a security deposit because that's what your last month's rent's supposed to be, but landlords can ask for a key deposit. And I paid $500 for that. So by the time I was moving out, they refunded me for that. They refunded me for my 2 last months because I didn't end up using that period. And no, they refunded me for 1 last month and 10 days because I didn't start at the first. So usually they like to start your rental agreement at the first of the month you're renting from, but sometimes it doesn't work that way, so you start later. And because I had told them I found a new job in Vaughan and I wanted to move closer to my job, so when it was time to move, I gave them 2 months notice and I started looking for an apartment, but I didn't find. They found someone to take their apartment before my 2 months was up, and I still had 1 more month left, and they asked me if I could leave at the end of that month so that they would refund me the extra 1 month I had left. So I was like, okay, fine. At this point, I hadn't even found a place. I was looking a lot, but I hadn't found somewhere, and it was like winter, in the dead of winter. Well, not in the dead, but it was winter time. It was like it was in December, so I was supposed to move out December 31st. But I hadn't found a place. So I ended up getting an Airbnb for 2 weeks in Aurora, some far place. It was even further for me to drive to work, but it was cheaper. It was the cheapest one I found, and it just worked for me, you know. It was an Asian couple that I went to stay with my son. The house was very neat. It was very beautiful. The snow up there was a lot. My car was messing up. But yeah, I made it. We made it work for the 2 weeks that we were there. And then my agent, Bonnie Bond, that I told you about, helped me find a place in Vaughan, close to my 10 minutes drive from my office. And the thing about that place was that there were no buses around there, but I wasn't too concerned because I drive, right? So it was fine. But no buses go directly there. The closest place that the bus goes to, you're gonna probably have to walk 30 minutes to get to my house. So most people, it was hard for people to come visit me if they did not drive. So that was a big issue for me, but I managed. I lived through it. And when my mom even came to visit, it was really stressed because having to take her around, I'm at work, she wants to go somewhere, she's always bored, she can't even walk around and do stuff herself. She was very dependent on me. I had to use Uber a lot of the time to take her places, to get her to go somewhere. It was really depressing for her living there because there's nothing around for her to see. So maybe that was not the best choice, but it worked for me because it was close to my house and close to my job. I just really wanted it to be close to the job, and the rent was actually cheap. So in that place, I was paying $950, and I was paying 30% of the bills. So the upstairs people was not the landlord. They were tenants as well. I think it was a Turkish family. They were also very nice. I had a good relationship with them as well. I had a good relationship with the landlord as well. She was a woman. Should I say landlady? I don't know. But yeah, I had a good relationship with all of them. And So we will split the bills 30%. So the upstairs tenants will get the bills, then they will show it to me, and I will calculate the 30% of the bill and pay it to them. We used to get two bills. We would get the Enbridge bill, Enbridge bill. I don't know if it's Enbridge or Enbridge, and I think that's the gas bill. Then we would get the Electra bill, which was water and electricity, and then I would split that 30%. So that's something you need to consider. I also had to pay a key deposit for that house because I used to park in the garage, and I had the fob to open the garage. So for that, pretty much was why I needed to give a key deposit. And also in that place, I needed to move out, I think, earlier than I was supposed to. I didn't stay the whole year there. I think I moved 2 weeks before I was supposed to. Yeah, because I started in my new place the 1st of January, and I was supposed to, I started in that place January 15th because I had found the place before the 2 weeks was up in the Airbnb. In fact, I booked the Airbnb for a month, but I found the place like after a week. But I just decided to make it like a full 2 weeks, and then, before I moved to Vaughan. And so I was able to sort out the Airbnb guy. He like had to cancel my remaining 2 weeks so that Airbnb could give me a refund, because if I try to do it myself, they won't give me a refund. So I asked him to do it, and he was kind enough to do that, to cancel the other 2 weeks. So Airbnb gave me my refund. And it's funny because when I was moving to this place, I couldn't move all my stuff, right? Because when I was moving from my first house, I couldn't move all my stuff. So I moved a bunch of my stuff to my then pastor's garage, and then took some stuff to the Airbnb, this immediate stuff I needed at the Airbnb, but everything else went to my then pastor's garage, and his wife helped me move all those stuff. About that church, I guess that's going to be a whole different video, because they were really helpful in my life, but I'll do another video about that, I guess. When I finally got the place in Vaughan, they usually allow you move, maybe if your moving day is on the weekday, they allow you move in the weekend before, because you have to go to work. So she allowed me move in the weekend before. I don't believe I rented a U-Haul. Oh, I did rent a U-Haul. I did. And I had to leave my son at a friend's house while my friend Emeka and I moved. Oh, it's funny now I don't have a British accent for part 2, but oh well. My friend and I moved my stuff to the new place in Vaughan while my son was in my friend's house, and when I was done, I went to pick him up, and then we just started settling in. So yeah, that was the second place. Then the third place, which I'm now living in, I got a new job. Funny enough, I had known I was going to move whether or not I got a new job, but I was actively looking for a new job because I was so tired of that place. I'm going to do another video about my job experience, like where I've worked so far and finding the jobs. So I was so tired of that place. I really needed to leave, but I knew that I needed to move from Vaughan, that particular house in Vaughan. I was looking for other places in Vaughan closer to my then job, but like other places, because I needed to be somewhere more accessible to people, because I make hair, I make clothes, and it was hard for my customers that do not drive to get to me. So I wanted to be somewhere that people could use the bus and get to me. So I did look at other places. Rent had increased a lot, so most of the 1-bedroom basements I was looking for were now $1,400 or so. I think the cheapest I saw was like $1,300. Some were like $1,400. The cheapest I saw was $1,350 that included utilities. Some maybe $1,300 did not include utilities. So it was like from that upwards. And the agent was also helping me look, but I didn't find anything with her. I actually considered sharing a house with someone else. So I was trying to look for a two bedroom and den, or 3-bedroom. I take 2 bedrooms, the person takes 1 bedroom. So I was looking around and I found one perfect place that was beautiful, brand new. We're the first people to live there, very good location in Vaughan. But the person I was supposed to move in with had some issues, and she was not able to move in at the time I was ready to move in as well. And I could not afford to pay that rent by myself. And I know if I have found money from somewhere, I could have gotten it, because I know that I would have found someone to take the other room, to rent the other room. But unfortunately, I wasn't ready to start asking people or asking anyone to foot me the money, because you have to pay first and last ones, and that house was about $2,200 for the 2-bedroom and a den. It was brand new, it was beautiful, it was like a dream house for me. But that was not where God wanted me to be. Shortly after that, I started interviewing for my current job, and so when I would go there, I started like looking on Kijiji, because on Kijiji there's a function where you can search around your location. So when I would go, I'll search around my location, I'll see some houses, I bookmark them. I was like, okay, I'm gonna check them out. And then I think I checked this one out where I am right now. I went to see the woman, spoke to her. I was with Elroy. Elroy was writing his cards on the walls, and she was like, oh, no, we can't have that. With that statement, I was like, okay, this woman's not going to give me this place. So I was like, I'm interested, but I hadn't gotten the job yet. I didn't want to move here if I hadn't gotten the job, because if I was still working in Vaughan, driving all the way there would just be stress, right? So I was like, okay, but I still told her I wasn't interested. And I took the application, and she was like, I should send it back to her with my credit reports and my reference letters. And she also wanted a reference letter from my former landlords. So I sent her both, because I had 2 landlords now, so I sent her from both. Then she also wanted like 2 or 3 personal references. So I gave her, one was my colleague and 2 of my other friends. So I did all that pending and waiting for my interviews. I think the last interview I had, when I went, they told me I pretty much got the job. They just need to confirm my references, but that, congratulations. But me, even though I was happy I've gotten the job, the fact that they hadn't confirmed my references, I was not really fully convinced. So I was still on the edge, and I was like waiting for the lady for the house to get back to me, as well as the job. And then they pretty much got back to me the same time, because the evening she started calling my reference. I messaged her because I didn't hear from her for a while. So I messaged her, have you given the house to someone else? What's the deal? I really needed to find somewhere, because my current landlady had found a lot of people that had been coming to look at the place while I was there. And so there were people that are interested, and then she really wanted to know if I was moving out when I said I was going to move out, which was December 31st. I was like, yeah, sure. Even if I haven't found somewhere, I will move out that day. The day the landlady was calling like my references, she called my colleague that evening. I was on the phone with the job people telling me that they've confirmed my references and they're ready to offer me the job. So both of them like pretty much came at the same time. Then she called me that I should come the next day and let's sign the lease agreement. So everything just worked out at the same time. So now with this place, I'm paying, it's a 2-bedroom basement. It's really, really massive, and it came furnished. I'm paying $1,565 per month, and it includes all bills and the furnished place. So I don't have to pay any utilities, and then I pay for like $40 for my internet. So let's say it's about $45 for my after tax for my internet. So let's say it's about $1,600 approximately that I'm paying every month. And it's really a good deal for anyone that has been here, anyone that knows what rent's like in Toronto. It is really a good deal. I'm kind of like in North York, Midtown-ish. It's really close to my new job. So I was not even driving my car to my new job, like I said in my car video, because, parking is expensive. So it's a 20-minute bus and public transit ride to work. And so it was really good, and it was like the best thing to happen. Like God just did everything for me concerning that. You pretty much just need to compare prices based on your budget. You can get a room to share with people for $600 in a house. You could decide to find an apartment to share with someone, a 2-bedroom, 2-washroom apartment. I know some of my friends recently got one, and they're paying like $1,000, $1,100 or whatever. Someone recently advertised a 2-bedroom, 2-washroom house for $1,800. I know someone that's sharing a 3-bedroom for $3,000, and 3 of them are sharing it, but not equally, because it depends on who has the master bedroom and who has the smaller rooms. So depending on the size of the room, they're sharing according to that. So these are the things to look at. But you should, like, if you're moving, you can start looking on Kijiji, Craigslist, I think Condo.ca. You can start looking at some of these sites just to see what the price range of houses and rent is like in the area you may want to live. If you're living in the suburbs, they might be cheaper. If you're living in Toronto, it's a bit more expensive, but suburbs are still expensive. So you should know that. Like, I know Oakville is still expensive, even though it's like further away. And it depends, like, so these are things to consider if you want to live near your job or not. For me, I was like, as long as I'm renting and I don't have a house, I've not bought a house, I do not see why I should live far away from where I work. So if I have a job and I know I like this job, like this one, I don't plan on moving anytime soon, I make sure, like, I find somewhere close to the job, because I don't want to work too far away from, I don't want to live too far away from where I work, because the place I go to the most is work, which is life, right? That's the place I go to work, I go to the most. Although now we're working from home, so it's a bit different. I don't even have to really go anywhere, but that is the major amount of the outings I do, going to work. So I need to live close to work. I don't want to spend most of my life commuting from one place to the other because I want to pay cheap rent. So these are the things to consider. Do you want more comfort, or do you want to be more budget friendly? Like, are you watching your funds more? I found a balance between, okay, my funds and also my comfort. Like, even the fact that I got a 2-bedroom is because my mom stays here more than she's in Nigeria. And I just wanted to have my own room and know this is my own place, and know that I can lock my door and just have my own time and space, you know. And I didn't really have that when we were living in a 1-bedroom, because it's either she's in the bedroom and I'm in the living room. But we used to always have to cross paths. But now I don't always have to cross paths with her if I don't want to, right? Except maybe when we are going to the washroom, because it's unfortunately a 1-washroom house. Yeah, so that's pretty much it, guys. I hope I'm not going to have to do another video about my moving and finding accommodation anytime soon. I hope I've answered most of the questions, but if not, send me a message. My Instagram is in the description box. You can send me a message. My Twitter is there. All my social media is there. You can email me, and then I can answer your questions personally. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, share, and comment. This might help someone, or if you just want to know, if you want to do Amebo and know about my experience, do that, you know, share it so that maybe people that like Amebo can watch it. Thank you. Bye.